Hi, this is Ann Deschamps, and I'm the president of asca, and we're about to have our open session part of our board teleconference. And our first item on the agenda is to ratify What we do when we go do this meeting is, if we have anything to discuss, we try to go around in turn and identify ourselves so that you can hear everybody giving their opinion. So that's one of the ways that we conduct this meeting. We have 5 items on the agenda. We have ratifying our email business. We have a system update report. And we have the discussion on the director's handbook. We have judges education format suggestion. And we have 2017 finals budget report. And so you'll hear us talking about those items. The first item is ratifying the January email business. Can we have a motion for that?
This is Liz. I'll do a motion to, I move to ratify the January email business.
Second, Linda.
All right, we have a motion on the floor by Liz and seconded by Linda to ratify the January email business. Is there any discussion? Okay, all in favor say aye.
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 Are there any opposed? Say nay. Are there any abstentions? Okay, that motion carries. So the next thing we have, provided that Allie has called in, is we have a
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, hi Allie.
Hi.
System update report from Rachel and with Allie.
Hi guys, this is Rachel Vest. Allie, if you wouldn't mind, we'll discuss the asca system upgrade committee first. That was a committee that you suggested, and we pulled together a document detailing what we were looking for, the skill level wise on that committee. And it's a motion before the board that will be voted on in the normal voting cycle. Does anyone have any questions about this committee that we're suggesting, either for Allie or for myself?
So we're going to be putting, some members will be on this committee, right?
Yes, ma'am. There's going to be 2 outside members as well as Allie. Now, I say members. In reality, I do not believe that they have to be asca members. I just believe that they have to be willing to work for asca to help get the best we can in terms of the new system, to have someone to be able to work through to ensure that we are going to be going in the right direction with the new system. And since Allie will be there to guide them, and I'm hoping that she and or Ray or a few others may have some suggestions about the folks that we need on that. So yes, ma'am, they're going to be outside members, the 2 as well as Allie. Allie, do you have anything to add?
No, I think that sounds good. That's kind of what we had talked about, and then you had written up. So yeah, that sounds good. Basically, what we're looking for is more like consulting skills as far as giving asca advice about computers versus like programs, asca programs like Agility or whatever, you know, things like that. Does that make sense?
Can you say that again?
What we're looking for is people who are, their skill set is oriented towards giving asca some computer consulting advice versus the actual programs like Agility or Obedience.
Okay.
Yeah, because we have lots of experts on the ASCA programs, but what we're looking for is experts in computer systems type things.
Allie, Rachel, this is Cindy. Will we be using this committee like a referral so that rules changes that affect the computer system will go through them? Or what purpose do you want them to serve for how long?
Well, that's a good question. So I think the initial purpose of the committee is to help find a new vendor. You know, if we get vendor quotes or proposals, they can kind of look it over and say, all right, they have the right skill set, or they can help talk to the vendors and say, this is what we're looking for. So that's kind of the initial goal. And then once we have a vendor supporting us and doing code changes, then perhaps the committee can go into more maintenance mode where they will look at motions that might affect the system and say, okay, this is a big change or this is a little change. Or if a committee has an idea, they can go, I'm sorry, like if a program committee, like Agility, for example, if they have an idea like we want to implement this change, they could go to the computer committee and say, you know, we're thinking of doing it a few different ways. What would be the easiest, most cost-effective, or quickest way to do it? Does that make sense?
Will they
Sort of
also
like course reviewers?
Almost, yeah. Of course, reviewers. There you go.
Cindy, this is Rachel. I see this committee, exactly what Allie said, working hand in hand with the new vendor, because any changes to committee programs, rules, etc., that will change the database will have to go to the new vendor. And so I literally see them working hand in hand. And we stated on the motion that they will remain seated until completion of the ASCA system upgrade. Once the upgrade is done, if there are if there are program changes, hopefully we'll be able to rely on the vendor that we've used for the system upgrade to fall back on for that. Is that kind of your idea, Allie?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I meant by go into maintenance mode. Like once
Exactly.
we get the system fully migrated in the way we want it, it might be that the committee really doesn't have that much work to do. So you either disband it or they just meet like twice a year to review things.
Right.
Or, you know,
Right.
it's not going to be a full-time job once we get the vendor sorted out.
And Allie, there was a comment that came back from Jerry Shetter this afternoon about 4 hours ago. I wasn't at the computer. I'll send that on to you just so that you can see his comments, okay?
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I went out today at 2:30, so I haven't been in front of the computer, which was actually kind of nice for a change.
So the other function that they'll have, as far as what I understood, was that they'll be helping us test everything before, you know, test what work has been done and make sure that verify that it's all doing what it was supposed to do. That's part of their function too, I think, right? Committee?
Or they can help coordinate the testing with the actual committee programs, program committees. Like they'll say to Agility, okay, we have this new feature. Can you guys be sure you check this and make sure that if you enter in bad data, that it kicks back an error, or, you know, just kind of help coordinate that. Yeah.
Okay. Are there any other questions about this? Okay, Rachel, do you want to go on with your report?
Yes, ma'am. So the next item that we have for the system is the most important, and that is our ASCA website maintenance and developments request for quote document. It is in the Dropbox, and again, Allie was instrumental in helping us create this, and it has been approved by herself, as well as we sent the approval through Chuck. So council has approved it as far as it goes right now. And so that is our next most important item, because right now we're operating with no system maintenance, and that is not good. So therefore, we would like to bring closure to that and be able to start searching for a website maintenance consultant. So does anyone have any questions for Allie or myself on the ASCA maintenance and development document?
Because we wanted to bring that to a vote tonight.
Yes, ma'am. That is going to be voted on. It's very important that Ray and or Allie and or others that may be helping us on this start searching for a replacement person for FogSlayer for our website maintenance. And we're kind of hoping that that person may also would get into the development side, and they potentially might become a vendor for us for the next upgrade. That remains to be seen, but yeah, I mean, you know, we could always hope that that would be the case.
Okay.
If you guys have time to look through that document to see if you have any questions for either Allie or myself.
Because we already have the motion in the Dropbox, and it's been made by Rachel and seconded by Laura.
And there was a comment today from a member, and that comment was related to someone that was skilled in the IT vendor contract negotiations about normal and acceptable practices in IT. I believe that Allie's in the business, and I believe that she will guide us in this. So I'm trying to not involve any more folks than we need to get this moving.
I mean, certainly we'll have Chuck review any contract, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There will be no contract signed without his approval, as did we send this to him for review.
Okay, we have the motion. Are there any questions from anybody? Do we need to go around and ask everybody? Cindy, what do you think of this?
I'm set with the question I had.
Okay, Denise?
I don't have any questions. It sounds real thorough.
Okay, Jean?
Sorry, my thing won't unmute when I need it to. I'm fine with it. I think it's great and very thorough. I appreciate that they did this.
Ken, have you joined us tonight? Okay, Laura, are you good with this?
I am, thank you.
Linda?
I'm okay.
Liz?
I'm okay with it.
And Rachel?
Yes, ma'am.
She's okay. Okay, so we have this motion on the floor. I move to approve the system maintenance / development request for quote document. The specific requirements for this role / service are listed in the document. And I'm not going to review all those because I think the members have also seen this. So if there's no further discussion, then all in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. Are there any abstentions? Motion carries. Thank you. Do we have anything else?
Allie? Right. Allie, do you have anything else regarding the system before we complete our portion of the discussion?
No, I don't think so. We had talked about, I think you and I had just kind of briefly talked about how we would get members involved. Like, are you going to ask for resumes, or how's that going to work? Or is that in the motion?
No, it is not specifically in the motion. I was hoping to work with you, Allie, to try and work through so that we could identify who we thought might best suit the purposes of the
Okay.
committee.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you so much, Allie. Thanks, guys. That's all for the
Okay.
system update.
Thank you.
Okay, bye, everybody.
Bye,
Bye, Ally.
Ally. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks, Rachel. Now the next item is our director's handbook. Kala, are you going to help us with that?
Yeah, so I sent out the side-by-side comparison between the old wording and the proposed changes that have been brought forward over the last year or so. I had heard back from a couple of directors, approval and an edit from Denise, and some wanted to discuss the addition of dock jumping to the list of the national specialty events and whether it should be there or not. I added it because all of the other programs are included and just assumed that it would be, but perhaps I was wrong. If you guys want to discuss, that was the only thing that was brought up, and I'm not sure how else you want to handle this. If anybody else had anything that they wanted to bring up or what.
What page are the programs discussed on? This is Jean.
23.
All right, trying to find it.
Does anybody have any other questions while Jean finds what she was looking for?
I found it. I guess it makes sense to list, I guess, all of the programs that are held at the national specialty. Because my initial inclination was, as we had originally discussed, how a lot of this stuff could be referred back to a policy book or a rule book. Instead of being line item specific on this stuff. And since, as I believe Laura pointed out, there's never been a discussion as to whether dock jumping would be a required event at nationals. Of course, the assumption is there. We could just say the ASCA National Specialty, or ASCA hosts an annual national specialty limited to Australian Shepherd, which includes various events covered by the ASCA program rules and regulations and the ASCA National Specialty rules, period. And that's inclusive without naming.
Or the other thing is you could put after the ASCA sanctioned dock jumping trial, you could put in parentheses as is deemed possible, or if deemed possible, or something like that, because we know there's issues with moving the pool around and things like that. So that could be noted as if possible, maybe.
How about if we make it optional for the host club to decide?
Like, okay, so then just put in parentheses.
Just put the word optional.
Optional, yeah.
That would work.
That would work great.
Gonna go around and do our thing.
Yes, let's do that. Cindy, do you have anything about this?
Optional's fine with me.
Denise?
I think if you put optional, that you should include that it's optional after board discussion or after discussion with the board or something, so that it can't be misconstrued that someone just didn't want to have it. Do you know what I'm saying? So that everybody's on the same page of reasons why it's not an option to go to a certain location. That would just be my concern. Thanks.
Jean?
Okay, got it. Unmute. I'm going to go back to my earlier recommendation that we don't name which programs. The reason I say that is we have duplicate places, and so every time we add something or delete something, we have to search all the different places to add and delete. It would be, in the director's handbook is supposed to be sort of a guideline and a pointer to help people find the information that they need. So for me, it would be appropriate or just say that we have a national specialty with various, trial shows and trials or various program events. For more information, national specialty rules, and leave it at that. And that's my suggestion.
Okay, Laura?
I would agree with Jean that this is not the place to list all those things. That you just, like she said, refer back to the National Specialty Handbook. But I do think we need to address this maybe next month. We could put it on the agenda. There are some expenses and some equipment and some weather considerations for making it mandatory. But anyway, I would agree with Jean's assessment as far as the need to list all those things in the director's handbook.
Okay, Linda?
I'm good.
Liz?
I agree with Jean and Laura. Thank you.
Rachel?
I agree with Jean, Laura, and Liz.
And I agree with all of them, with those same people. So that, okay, so do we have anything else in this document that we need to discuss? Calla, did you want us to approve this?
Yeah, I guess I think that all these things should be approved, but I feel like it should be done over email.
Okay.
So you'll, this is Jean. You'll make the changes, I guess, that I assume we all had a consensus on as far as removing the line item program events, and then give it back to us via email again?
Yep, I'll send it out tonight.
I appreciate that.
I'll do the side-by-side tonight, and then I can send you out like an actual document of what it will look like so you can see what you're voting on, so whoever wants to make a motion can have that in hand.
Perfect.
Sounds great. All right, sounds like we're done with that item for tonight. So the next one would be Judge's Education Format Suggestion, and this is by Laura.
Well, I sent everyone an invitation to join a sample classroom. It's a Google Classroom, and Google Classroom is being widely used by educators and non-educators. It's free. It serves our purpose. My one concern is I don't know how large a class can be, so you might end up having like several cohorts. Let's say you set up something for confirmation judges education. You might have all the A judges in one class. So that, I don't know, that would be the one limit. I can't seem to get an answer to that. But I sent you each a little sample class. You go and you join the class. You set up content that you want the student to read. It includes simple tests that, or complex tests, whatever you want to do as far as assessing the assignments that you've given to the students in the class. And it's free and it's widely used. So it would be a good solution. It works very well with our YouTube. In fact, in the sample class, I linked to one of the YouTubes on looking at a confirmation educational piece about a judge examining the bite of a dog. So you can put in articles, you can put in videos, and then you can have tests or assessments. They can be short answers, they can be multiple choice, and that people take them online and then they submit them, and whoever's in charge of the class gets the results of those assessments. So I think it might be a good solution for our judges' education. And that's a suggestion.
So do you want to make a motion that we approve Google Classroom?
I wasn't going to make a motion. I just thought I would like to send this out to the committees. I would like to invite the committee chairs. I was hoping, I know some of you actually went and tried it, and I know the couple of people that did try it said they liked it. I think Liz and Heidi and Rachel. No, I don't know if Rachel looked at it or not. I know 2 or 3 people responded back to me that they liked it. I think the next step is to take it to the committee chairs to see if they like it, because they're the ones who would actually be utilizing it.
Good idea.
This is Jean. It sounds wonderful.
I took the little test and I really liked it. I thought it was great. It made the wheels turn. Anybody, do we need to go around, or does everybody happy with Laura proceeding in that way?
This is Liz. I'm good with proceeding that way. I think that Laura's idea is the way to go. I mean, the committee's got to try it and see how it's gonna work for them. I think it'll work great for all of them, but they have to try it.
Is anybody against it? Okay, Laura, take it away. Go for it. It sounds great.
I think it'll be a nice free solution to our problem. So, thank you.
Thanks for the work you put into it. So the next item is our 2017 finals budget report. And that was also Laura.
If you open the finals budget report, you'll see that we actually, we did spend a little more money than we said, than we budgeted, but we're not asking for any reimbursement. We made a profit on nationals, and the overages were our choice. We spent more on the receptions than was budgeted. We did that on purpose. We spent more on some judges than was budgeted, and that's fine. So we're satisfied with it if you are.
Cindy, do you want to say anything?
I had one question. Laura, I remember we had a problem with ribbons. Did that get all settled?
The solution?
Finals ribbons?
Yes, the solution to that was that if you wanted to, a letter went out to each of those competitors, and if you wanted to, you could send your ribbon back into Centaur, and they would remake it for you. And the deadline for that was January the 31st. And I know some people that did that. I don't know exactly how many, but that was the solution, was that they were willing to remake the rosettes for those people that wanted them remade.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Denise, do you have anything?
No, it looks like, things are over just a little bit, but, when you put a budget together so much earlier than your actual event, it's awfully hard to be right on the money. And I think that the Nationals was a great setup, and the reception was very well received. It was wonderful, and it was going over the budget for. So I think that everything looks good. Thank you.
Okay, Jean, do you have anything?
No, I think I'm fine.
Ken, are you here yet? No Ken. Laura?
I'm
Do you have
good.
any- Okay. Linda?
I'm good.
Liz? Liz, do you have anything on this? I can't hear Liz. Rachel, do you have anything?
I'm sorry. This is Liz. I got disconnected for a moment. I'm okay with it.
Okay, Rachel?
I just want to say it was an outstanding event, and I really do appreciate the club picking up that few $1,000s. That's thousands of dollars that we can keep in the funds for ASCA. So thank you, Laura, and thanks to all of your associates who agreed to do that.
I also want to thank Laura and her group for doing such a fine job. Our finals was really nice. And thank you for being good stewards of the money and making it work. And thanks for the extra. So do we need a motion to accept this report?
Yes.
Okay, I'll make a motion to, sorry, it's Cindy. I'll make a motion to accept the 2017 finals finance report as presented.
This is Rachel. I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor by Cindy and seconded by Rachel to approve the 2017 finals budget report. Is there any discussion? All in favor? Sorry, did somebody have anything?
I just have one quick question. I'm sorry that I didn't notice this sooner. Finals awards for stock. I know all the awards were sponsored. That was awesome. That was wonderful. And it looks like the grand total raised was $3,000, with half of that being used for the finals reception. Is that correct?
I'm sorry. I was not on that page. The go back. What tab are you on? I'm sorry, Jean.
And
I totally dropped
that's
off.
okay. That's okay. I should have said this earlier. It's on the stock finals page, down at awards, cost per award, and I know that you guys did an amazing job on getting all of the awards sponsored. And so it shows a total of $3,000 was the amount raised. I'm not quite sure what was.
That's not. That's $3,000 was spent.
Oh, okay, but they were all okay. Well, all right. And we don't have an income that goes with that, showing that they were.
Look on the income tab.
Right next door.
Go on the income tab, and
there we go.
We raised $2,185.50 for stock dollars.
Finals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was the sponsorship.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed say no. And are there any abstentions?
I'll abstain.
Okay. Then the motion carries. And that's all we have on our agenda for tonight. I'd like to thank all of you for listening in and listening to our meeting. Thank you very much. And the meeting's adjourned.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye, everybody. Have a good Valentine's Day.
Oh, you too.
Ash Wednesday too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good night.
Good night.